Good morning, my people. Today we are talking about differences. We are all born equal, but different, and it shows. They can't hide it anymore. You know, we did not want to compete with anyone. The empath, the empathetic person did not want to compete. We don't want to compare to anyone. And we still don't compete or compare. But it shows that a lot of people wanted to do that. So these people, they don't make a statement about us, but about themselves. And it shows. It cannot be hidden anymore. Now, what are models? What are models in physics, in mathematics? They describe the behavior of planets, of particles, of thermodynamic processes. There is even the Fibonacci sequence and the Mandelbrot set that describe fractal geometry. We can describe very many things very precisely with the models that ingenious people made. You need to understand that these people that made these equations, and these equations are often very simple and graceful. So the truth, by the way, often is simple. So if a person tells you complicated stories, consider it's not the truth. No. These people who make these equations, they imagine them in the first place. And these people are fought, persecuted, and called crazy until somebody realizes, oh, it's right, it works, it makes the best prediction we ever made. And then suddenly they get a lot of recognition and everybody wants to be their friend. So isn't that very interesting that the scientists, the genius, the outstanding stars of humanity, imagining what we have in our school books today, and stupid teachers, not every teacher is stupid, but some try to force this into the heads of students without having this spark of imagination and creativity within themselves. Now, models do not represent the absolute truth. They represent the best guess, the best product we have. And if somebody comes up with an equation that is even more graceful, even more simple, and describes even more processes at the same time, or it describes a process more precisely, the old equation will be discarded or adapted to this, okay? And models in psychology, by the way, are of course even more stitched together, more unprecise, like, because a human being and the psyche of a human being is not as easy to describe as the movement of a planet. Yet both are very fascinating, right? Did you know that the sun is flying across the universe? It's not circling around anything, maybe around our galaxy, I don't even know, but it just goes straight through space. You know, we're traveling, we're not going in circles, we're traveling. And the planets circle around it so they follow and circle around the sun while the sun travels through space. So the stars we see change all the time, slowly, but it's because we travel. We're all in this ship together, but we are divided because of stupid people telling us what colors we have, what differences are there, like me. We are different. All right, I contradicted myself. That's very human. Now, models do not represent the truth, and in psychology we have another problem. We cannot look into the head of another person, and I contradict myself again. We can do scans, we can do, you know, we can scan the brain of a person, and when you scan the brain of a psychopath or narcissist, there will be differences to an empath, to a healthy person, but it doesn't matter, right? Now, quantum physics have models too to describe what quantum physical processes do. And there is within the fields of science, you can use progress in one field of science to make progress in another field. And sciences now, today, are growing together. Especially quantum physics and philosophy linking, and neuroscience and psychology and more fields are growing together. They overlap. And gotta push the message a little bit. Now, quantum physical descriptions can be used to describe the experience, the individual perception of the world and the experience of human being. And narcissists live rather in the particle state, while empaths live in the wave state. Wave state means you are in an organic process of flow, connected to Mother Nature, connected through love, through unconditional, complete love and forgiveness with the world around you, and you're full of trust. You have good motives and motivation, and you trust that these motivation will reward you. And this is a flow state with no beginning and no end. You know, while narcissists and psychopaths are in a state of particle, and they only see materialistic things, they can only calculate. They have not the emotional intelligence, they don't have a concept of love or self or world. They are self-absorbed, and they have to control every object around them. And when I say objects, I mean people, because for them people are objects. And this shapes the nature, so their perception shapes their nature and their experience. Because when you control something, it goes into particle state. That is the double slit experiment. When you measure a photon, what he does and where he is, he switches from wave state to particle state. And when you're living together with narcissists or psychopaths that all the time try to control you, try to measure you, try to compete with you, these are all measuring processes, and they trigger the wave state to collapse and go to particle state, okay? So a narcissist or a psychopath hates it when a person is in wave state. Alright, the time is now going to an end. I hope this message resonates with you, and I hope that you have the private sphere and the necessary amount of time alone to enjoy the wave state, being in the flow, being connected. And don't let nobody deceive you. And everything, by the way, is posture, which means you have to protect your positivity at any cost, and you can. All right? Trust in the love.